Rookie of the Year balloting Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns as they match up with the longtime Raven Joe Flacco and his new team, for Broncos. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Just a short time ago, sounds loud enough to reverberate across the Rockies. They're ready for football in Denver as the Broncos get set to do battle with the Cleveland Browns. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in playing some decent football, 5-3 in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. The Broncos head out for their first drive and at the controls in his first season in the Mile High City, a former Super Bowl champion in Joe Flacco. And in Baltimore, they drafted Lamar Jackson. Eventually, he would take over for Flacco Week 10 a season ago. So Flacco out. Well, the Broncos said, we still think he has some time left in his career. They bring him in for some stability at quarterback, something that they really haven't had in Denver since the departure of Peyton Manning after their victory in Super Bowl 50. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. The offensive lineup now, and the guy we highlight, Emmanuel Sanders.
You can use him in any spot as a wide receiver. In the slot, out wide. It doesn't matter. He just makes plays.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On second down, a run with Lindsey. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. Talked about Phillip Lindsay so much last year, but it bears repeating. Undrafted in 2018, the Broncos would sign him in May, and that was a good decision. He would have a 1,000-yard season, 9 touchdowns en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. So from undrafted to playing in the Pro Bowl in 10 months, that's pretty clean living for Phillip Lindsay. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Let's make these babies scream.
On first down, Flacco. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Into this game, they're ranked number 22 in the NFL against the pass, Charles.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the quarterback. They're in the top 10 in the league in sacks.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Let's go,
Here's Flacco. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
The Browns ready to go to work here on offense, and their man behind center, well, that's Baker Mayfield, the number 1 overall pick last season, who set a rookie record with 27 touchdown passes. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Adam Gotsis, the big Aussie, in on the tackle. Let's meet the offense. Greg Robinson. Very, very talented.
What a man to set your offensive line with. Greg Robinson can do it all. Tremendous athleticism, great strength, just coming into his own.
Throwing on second down, Mayfield. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. A look now at the starters defensively for the Broncos. They've been pretty solid against the pass, toward the middle of the pack, number 14 in the NFL.
I think if you talk to their head coach, you'll get a nice answer about how much he likes his team and what they're doing. But at the end of it, he would admit there's definitely room to improve.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. Good play there to step in and knock that one away by Chris Harris.
Who said that he couldn't play in the NFL?
Not me.
Not you. A lot of scouts did. A lot of people undrafted. And has turned himself into a Pro Bowl cornerback, one that really knows how to play the position.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Here's a carry for the fullback. This is Andy Janovich. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play.
I love the modern game, but that was a throwback right there to see the big man with football, running, knocking people aside, and picking up yardage. That takes me back to the 60s, the 70s, when fullbacks ruled the earth.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together. Kill.
2nd and 5 now. Flacco. He's got Jake Butt, his tight end. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just working the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
So not quite out of danger just yet. Still backed up a bit, but only need a few inches here on second down. Now it's Freeman. And he'll find a little space. He gets this up near the 10. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. To pass, Flacco. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Nowhere. Absolutely.
3rd down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
180.
Mayfield looks to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there. Landry, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
But there is a certainty in this game. We know that wherever he goes, he's going to draw a big-time crowd.
Throws into double coverage there. And, look, that's something that he's going to have to deal with a lot in this game, I'm sure.
Yeah, they were lucky to get away with that one where it just fell incomplete. But they're going to count on him to uncover latent routes and make some difficult catches.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. They convert on third with a gain of 22. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first 2, but you get up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to settle in, hopefully.
Yeah, now you won't have any confidence issues. Now you can kind of get it back even with just one throw.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Von Miller has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep every...
And he's going to go down again. Bradley Chubb providing a little deja vu. Back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
And coming out now, the Broncos. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Flacco from the gun. Looking for Sanders here on the deep ball. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from it. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of 4th down, 1st down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on, because 3rd down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
25, check 25, check 25.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. They find some open field here. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. From the 38. Flacco, and the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 18. Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Here's Flacco off the play fake to Lindsey. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Boom! That's how we do it, baby.
You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Now Flacco. Got him in. He finds Sanders. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Emmanuel Sanders with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Now this is Callaway on the receiving end. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On 3rd down, Hunt. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. 1st down, Mayfield. Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Von Miller in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this 1st quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. To try again after the sack, Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So a little extra on top of the big play there.
It's tough for guys rushing the passer, but you have to know when the ball is gone. And if you listen, officials will tell you ball's gone. He didn't go up.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. That is incomplete. He was trying to get it to his tight end, David Njoku,
But now it'll be third down.
We talk all the time about playmakers on offense, but let's face it, there are plenty of playmakers on defense too. I think we just saw an example of one, didn't we? Not force that incompletion.
Yeah, he's a great corner. They got a couple of them on that side of the football. On third down, Mayfield. And that throw intercepted. It's Chris Harris, the Pro Bowl corner. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Third down, Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Flacco on the give to Lindsey. The stop was made by Jannard Avery.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Flacco. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. Third down here.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Third down, Flacco from the gun. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Yeah, he was looking for the check-up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. As the offense comes out, we put our Madden spotlight on Baker Mayfield. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit.
The Browns drive about to get started. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The Browns on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Real. Switch.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. Flacco going to bring up the Broncos 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Flacco nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Larry Ogunjobi gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now after the sack, Flacco and the Broncos come up 3rd and long. Flacco. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Browns drive about to get started, and still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. On 2nd and 15 now. Mayfield. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half, because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Hey, alert, 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 alert. Attack.
3rd and long for Mayfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. It was Bryce Callahan jarring the ball free defensively. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. But sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. Out there to start their next drive, Phillip Lindsay and the Broncos. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Passer defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Passing play, Flacco. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Jake Butt, the tight end, his intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Shotgun snap and a give to Lindsey. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Open man, and that's his tight end, Jake Butt. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. Flacco now just 6 of 15 through the air. Not good, but first and 10 here. Throw complete here. Flacco to Sanders. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Give them 14 yards there and a Denver first down. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Bootleg, Flacco. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Jannard Avery came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Now after the sack, Flacco and the Broncos come up third and long. Now it's Flacco. And Sanders has got it complete. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays, yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. On first down, they go right back to Hunt, pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
20. Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go. Check, check, check. King.
They go play action. Mayfield. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Will Parks there in coverage to knock it away.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. Did there. That was nice.
Mayfield from the gun on third down. Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Von Miller racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out, but you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
They'll run here with Lindsey. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. On second down, it's Lindsey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
To pass, Flacco. And that is intercepted by the Pro Bowl quarterback Denzel Ward. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. On the run, this is Hunt. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
You got it! You got it! You got it!
It's a gain of 2 yards. And it's third down.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Deshaun Hamilton, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Setting up to throw, Flacco. His throw incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Here's Flacco. That's complete to Jake Butt. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Let's go, baby! Let's go!
They call it a gain of 19. And a nice completion there by Joe Flacco, who's probably going to miss being able to play Cleveland twice a year. Gosh, in his 11 seasons as a starter in Baltimore, he was 17-3 against the Cleveland Browns, and now he'll try to get a victory in a Broncos uniform. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go pass again with Flacco. And he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. A gain of 32 that time.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely look for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Now Flacco, and caught by Sanders. Touchdown Broncos. Emmanuel Sanders with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Broncos push further out in front.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. Hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah,
and the Broncos get there and take him down. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. Mayfield now. And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. Now a fair catch signaled for and made right about the 43-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get to field goal range. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, where it was the home team who were able to hold serve and get a victory in their stadium. 28-0 the final. From there, we head all the way out west to see what's happening with the LA Chargers. And they trail that one over the visiting Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers with 2 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get you way up to Seattle. See what's happening with the Seahawks. And that one all even as they play the visiting Bucs. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go!
We remind you that coming up later tonight, we've got a good AFC battle in Baltimore. The Super Bowl champs, New England, in town to take on the Ravens. And then tomorrow, Monday Night Football, the Cowboys and the Giants from MetLife Stadium to wrap up this first weekend in November. No room to be had there on the first down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Defense.
So that one will be accepted.
Automatic first down.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. On the counter, Hunt. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. It's Kareem Jackson making the play defensively.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Hunt. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? You know, because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point.
Three down. Pistol. Check number 6. Check 31.
Now Mayfield on fourth down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Adam Gotsis, the Aussie, with a sack. That was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Myles Garrett in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's Flacco off the play fake to Lindsey. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
3rd and long for Joe Flacco. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And he's got the hook up to Landry. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. On 3rd and 1, here's Mayfield. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Defense.
Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask. 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes your hand gets into the wrong place.
They go play action here on 1st down. That's going to be caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns get a score closer. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Denver getting set to take the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
3rd down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. And that is intercepted by the Pro Bowl cornerback Denzel Ward. And he takes this one back into the end zone. His defense has a touchdown.
We can't be stopped.
What you just saw there, first-round talent, second year, even more success. A pick 6 for a touchdown.
A great play. And it's tough for these guys, you've told me before, to adjust in the secondary as a first-year guy. So that sophomore season is big for them.
They really start to expand the playbook for them even more. Sometimes they dumb it down a little bit to make them comfortable year 1. By year 2, they should have all the nuances, and now they've adjusted to the speed of NFL play as well.
Showed right there. Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. A run with Lindsey out of the gun. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give the tackle there to Morgan Burnett.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Flacco. He's got Jake Butt as tight end. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Roughing the passer, defense.
So a big roughing the passer penalty, Charles, and of course that's 15 yards.
And everyone knows how protected the quarterbacks are. You've got to make sure that when you launch at a quarterback that you're hitting him in the right spot and in the right time.
Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a 1st down with his very next run.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Flacco off play action. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Man, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. A little check down to Lindsey. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. The kick by McManus is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Now Hunt.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
On third down, Mayfield. And that will be incomplete.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No first down.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They'll run on first down. Lindsey. Tackle made by Demarius Randall.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Now a carry for Lindsey. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. Flacco to throw here on 3rd down. Got a man. He finds Sanders. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now it's Lindsey fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Welcome back now to Denver. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th. Operating off play action. Flacco. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking to get it to Phillip Lindsay there. And it's third down. Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is third down and 8. Flacco. He's got his tight end fed. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Trailing in the fourth, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
Now it's Flacco. And that's complete to Sanders. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. 3 touchdown passes now for Joe Flacco. And the Broncos push further out in front. Now Flacco will lead them up as they're going to go for 2.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about...
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. So they get the 1-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through it, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
Touchdown, Cleveland.
Yeah, baby, that's ours.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The Browns drive about to get started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Baker Mayfield, as a rookie, 3 times he led the Browns back to victory in the fourth quarter. What can he do here in year number? And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. The sack by Todd Davis.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
3rd and long for Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one, maybe his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
And he'll find a little space. He gets this up near the 10. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down and 4, Flacco. And he's got his man on the out route. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. The 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
On first down, it's Lindsay. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Third down, Flacco for the gun. This is the tight end Fant. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
And being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Here's Mayfield. High throw, but the catch is made.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
A first down throw for Mayfield. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Rashard Higgins was the one he was looking for, but it's going to be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Holding, offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Mayfield. And his throw is incomplete. The intended receiver was Rashard Higgins, and it'll bring up 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Throwing, Mayfield. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Flacco leaves to Lindsey on the draw. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
I know we're there in wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space. Spot for power football. We just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Watch the shit. Watch the shit.
To pass, Flacco. They'll find Lindsey here. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. Now Landry. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Okay, Brady, I'm seeing you. Hey, 180. They're going to need some therapy after this.
They run again with Hunt. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
It's
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Let's go, defense.
To throw, Mayfield. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Von Miller in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches, I always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. He's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So here, the men in charge are going to be looking at whether or not the receiver had possession of the ball as he went out of bounds.
And they have to make sure that the receiver got both feet down in bounds as well.
Mayfield's pass, intended for Jarvis Landry, incomplete.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes...
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Sua Cravens with a pick. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter.
Defense wins championships, baby.
Freeman again. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
On 3rd down, here's Lindsey. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. To a knee goes Flacco, and that should be it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road. But there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home